All right, all right. Welcome everybody. We are doing the Sunday night Soapbox Hero Sports Edition. Um,
Hmm.
the three major topics that me, Kano, and Dre will be going over is fantasy football. Right now, that's hot. Everybody knows fantasy football. They just did the marathon on ESPN. Y'all better get ready. Okay, so we're gonna help y'all out with that. Lakers versus the Clippers. It's a lot of things going on over there in the city, right? So we're gonna tackle that topic. And then the playoff race. We got the Dodgers. They always in the playoffs, but man, we're gonna talk about all that, right? But first, um, I'll introduce myself. I am the host. I'm Johnny Carina. Super sports head. Um, I do events and marketing. Karina Mack Events and Marketing. Um, and yes, sports enthusiastic, as I said earlier. And now I'll pass it. I'll pass it on to Dre. I'll let him introduce himself.
You the host. You're supposed to introduce everybody. What you mean?
Nah, man, you got to talk. You got to speak up, mate. Come on, let them know you can do it better than me, mate. Come on.
Well, I guess I'm taking over host duties, y'all. It's A to the N, DRE. Call me Dre if you the homie. I'm out here, sports knowledges. Give you everything you need to win all your fantasies. You may lose in one or two, but you're going to win four or five for sure.
Woo! Sportsologist. I love it. And then Cano, Mr. Cano, where'd he go, Mr. Cano?
What it do? I'm right here.
Let the people know who you are. Introduce yourself. Give them something to go off of.
Here we go. Like you said, my name is Mr. Cano. Just out here doing big things, doing a little podcasting. I'm a big Philly fan, as you can see, repping the Eagles all day. I'm a realist. I'll let you guys know what's up. Keep you
You
guys
can't be
winning
a
championships every
realist.
year.
You
N-
can't be a realist repping
all,
Philadelphia.
all day.
The
It,
city of
just because
brotherly
you're a
love.
Cowboy fan. Just because you're a Cowboy fan, man. I'm sorry. You don't even got Zeke this year.
Woo! And
Well,
and it starts. That's the
and we're going to
first
talk
one.
about that right now. We're going to talk about all
That's the
that. Let's
first one.
go.
No. We ain't gonna get off topic. This is what we're gonna talk about right now. Let's go on ahead, and then I'll start it off right now, and we're gonna talk about fantasy. Like I said, and the first topic we're gonna talk about is late round gems and early bust.
Mm,
That's the first thing you want to talk. You heard him. You heard him over there. He smelled like he smelled somebody
mm,
mama cooking something good. Like I'm telling you right now. Um, yeah, the late those that's what you need right there. That's gonna either put you over the hump or you gonna lose. Right. You don't wanna take those early busts. Right. Um,
That's right.
Antonio
and
Brown.
me,
Ooh.
yeah, Antonio Brown. That's an early bust. Go ahead, elaborate. Why you think he's gonna be an early bust?
Oh,
Antonio Brown, that
definitely. I think,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about him. Everybody right now. Let's talk about because he getting cold feet, y'all. He ain't even in practice.
Let
He getting cold feet. So let's talk about him, y'all. Go ahead, Kano. Kick it off.
all I gotta say is Antonio Brown, he's having a mental breakdown, man. Like he complained about helmets. He's over here thinking about like, man, making up foot injuries and whatnot. Like, come on, man. Like, just play the game. Everybody gotta wear the damn helmet. Ain't nobody else crying. Ain't nobody bitching. Like just go out there, do your job. The Raiders got you to do a job, and you're not even doing a job. You're a big old drama queen. Bleaching your damn mustache. Like, come on, man. Like, get it together. Play the game, be that wide receiver you were in Pittsburgh, man. Like that's it. That's it. Bust, man. Don't draft him. I'm avoiding him in
That's
all my leagues.
that's funny. He said that. Avoid him in all your league. He's a bust. Don't draft him. He's a bust. Don't draft him. I know exactly what I hear him. I hear him. But see, me on the other hand, I agree with a lot of what he said. Some of what he said may needs to get reworded or rethought out. Um, with Antonio Brown. And see, Gruden, I think Gruden brought a lot of this on himself, homie. Because when he brought him on, he was like, oh, I expected more from Antonio. Something, when he first started acting up, homie. And then, boom, he had free range, homie. Mike Mayock just came out talking about we support Antonio. This is great. Yada yada yada. But we can't be having this. And see, Mike Mayock, he should know. How many? He really should know because he's been a GM and then he worked at the ESPN. Then he went back and then he got him. So with certain players, with certain things, come baggage. Like with certain things come baggage. So with Antonio Brown, he makes a lot of catches. He does a lot of things. He real flashy, but with a lot like Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens was doing sit-ups in his damn driveway. But he's a Hall of Famer though. And so what I think about, a lot of people talk about how crazy Antonio Brown will, and I know what you mean. I really don't see him being a per se bust unless you take him in the first round, in the first 3 rounds actually. But if you can get him in the fourth or later, he's a steal. That is a steal. If he's on the board in the fourth and you let him go, shame on you. In a PPR, who else are they going to throw the ball to? And they're definitely going to be playing from behind. They're definitely not going to be holding the lead. So I definitely he's not a high round player. And then I think back to what kind of coach was Mike Tomlin? To keep him as calm as he did. But what about you? What about you, my man Dre, the sportsologist, man? He be breaking knowledge on. Let him have some knowledge, man.
Well, that's what I'm here for. So, first off, I'm going to say everything that you pointed out, Kano, was reasons of not being liked in person rather than being results on the football field. Because if anybody knows football, they know wide receivers is prima donnas. They're going to give you a show. They're going to come in hot air balloons, helicopters, boats. If they bleach their hair blonde. They ain't got nothing with 3rd and 10, you busting a double route for a touchdown for 60 yards. They got nothing to do with that. So Antonio Brown, you ain't drafting him in the first 3 rounds. I feel like he's sleeping, but he's definitely, to me, a late 3rd round pick because of Derek Carr may be the one that stops him and hinders him a little bit. He's not Big Ben, but I feel like John Gruden's second year, Derek Carr's going to make a little step up. It sometimes takes a year or two for players to get comfortable in the scheme that they're in. But Antonio Brown, he's a professional, one of the best in the league, top receiver the last 5 years. You cannot tell me that you would rather draft a Brandon Cooks, a Stephon Diggs, a Adam Thielen before Antonio Brown. Rather they getting beat or inside of a game, Antonio Brown gonna get at least 12 targets a game. He's gonna get 7 receptions. If you're in PPR, that's a 1 point per reception. That's 7 already. It's about 60 yards. You're already getting 13 points off top of AB. That's in the 3rd round pick. You can't go wrong with that. It may scare a couple of people that he's in a new situation, new team. All the hoax, yeah, you could buy into it and scare you off, but to me, that's what makes or breaks a real fantasy champion from the middle pack.
Oh,
Dre,
spoken
let me
truth.
tell you let
Go
me
ahead.
tell you 9. Let me tell you 9 wide receivers I would take before Antonio Brown. Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Michael Thomas, Stephon Diggs. I would even take T.Y. Hilton over him.
No,
See,
no,
now
no. You said
that's at
no. You
fault.
said
That's on
AJ
fault.
Green. Hang on, wait.
Exactly.
You said
AJ
AJ
Green's going
Green,
in the 6th round. He's hurt for
and
the
he's
first
not
4
even
weeks.
playing in the first. And then you said T.Y. Hilton, and then hang
That's
on,
right.
man,
Andrew Luck might not even play the beginning of the season. So why
bro,
would you take a
bro,
quarterback who got
bro.
a backup already on top? You can't take 10 wide
Hey,
receivers before Antonio Brown. You can't take 10. If you take a 10,
Oh,
thank you for
I
your
just named
money.
you
I
9. I
appreciate you
just named
playing
you
for the
9.
year. Like I said, if you're gonna take 10 before or 9 before Antonio Brown,
no,
thank you for your money. I appreciate you, but there's not 10 receivers out there. But he didn't lose his talent because he
and I'm
chose to blonde his hair in the offseason. He didn't lose his talent. He didn't lose his hands. He didn't lose his work ethic. He's
He
still
lost his
working the same.
head. He lost his head.
If you haven't
He
noticed,
nah.
lost
his
he
He's
head's
lost
good.
been lost. His head's been lost since the 3rd season, since he kicked out Ryan Clark's and the wars in Pittsburgh. He's been that guy since day one. He's just more known now because of social media and his platform of being a
and
hard knock.
that's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do.
Exactly.
He
You
wanted
got
to
it. I
make his
mean,
presence known.
a lot
So
of players nowadays they're thinking more outside of just sports. So you know what? Let me get all the subscribers and followers I can,
yes,
whether it's being
got
good or
that
bad.
helmet on, you can't get
But
seen.
exactly, the helmet may be an issue to you because of you believing in the hype of the media. But I don't know about you, but a professional
I'm gonna tell
baller,
y'all what it
regardless,
is right now.
it's a,
I'm gonna tell everybody what it is right now. AB does not want to go to damn training camp, homie. He doesn't want to go. He just wants to play games, homie. He just wants to play games, bro. Like he's like, homie, I'm not gonna play preseason games.
how
I'm
many
only playing
injuries
2
have you
games,
heard this offseason of
and
wide receivers, the weird ones?
I'm gonna keep it 100. And so, and next we're gonna talk about since that was Cano's player, my late round gems that I'm looking at right now is your boy Jackson. Your boy Jackson from what's his name? Y'all know what I'm talking about from Dago?
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson.
No, the
Justin
That one.
running back.
Jackson.
Oh, the
The
running
running
back.
back from
Justin
San
Jackson.
Diego. Who?
Justin Jackson.
Just he sound like one of the damn Temptations. Justin Jackson. He go damn boy. He gonna get busy, homie. I'm gonna tell you. Watch, we gonna Jackson because he's a big dude. It's his second year. I remember last year when he was spelling um what's his boy Austin Irk. What's old boy's name? The backup for Melvin Gordon.
Austin Eckler.
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 Yes. Austin Eckler. He's not gonna be up in there, homie. So the thing about Jackson is they were talking about already splitting the reps, and I just feel like it's going to be that late. Nobody's going to draft him, and I think he's the better player than Eckler. Eckler, he's been there for a while. He's the pass catcher, but Jackson, he's the better player. So if it's getting late and you don't know nobody to take, look for it. Was it Justin Jackson? That's his name.
Justin Jackson.
I can't forget
Yep.
that name. JJ. That's good old
Northwestern.
JJ.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett. I feel you.
So who you got?
I hear you. I hear you with the Justin Jackson take. He is a late round gem. It's just he have to fight through the struggles of getting on the field with Austin Eckler and the fact that we really don't know if Melvin Gordon is going to come back or not. Yeah, I mean, all signs point towards a Le'Veon Bell type of season where he's going to be off for the whole year. But if anything's taught you from last year in Le'Veon's scenario, you never know. These are grown men. They make their own decisions when what's best for them, their family, and financially, especially in a running back scenario where running backs are trying to get paid. They're trying to get paid. They're trying to make a stand and, get what they deserve in my eyes. So Justin Jackson's a good play. I wouldn't actually depend on him if you're looking for a flex position. But if you need someone that's going to be maybe towards the end of the year because Melvin Gordon never came back, he may be a good play.
Yeah, yeah, I like him. I like him as a yeah. That sounds more. I like that. I like the way you put that. Um, and who's the next? Who's the next player? Who do you got? Who's your late gem or your early bust?
My early bust, I'm gonna give you early bust right now. You may not like it because this is your guy. My early bust is Juju Smith-Schuster. He
Well,
is an early bust for me. I've heard so much hype about this guy, and yes, they pass the ball like none other, and yes, he got over 110 receptions last year. He was neck and neck with Antonio Brown. He in 1 point PPR leagues, he was actually 30 points less, only due to touchdowns, receptions. He was there, yardage. He was there. I understand the hype about him, but he was a second receiver. And then if anybody knows football, like we all here for, second receivers, they don't get double looks over the safety over the top. They don't get the number one corner. They get the second corner. They get, the linebacker sometimes, his own scheme. So he's open a lot. He's not getting a focal point. With Big Ben being, 38, 37 now, 37, 38 now, losing it. He was about to retire 4 years ago. Who knows where his mind's at now. I just don't trust Big Ben with Juju going in the third round this year. I get he's going to get a lot of looks and targets because, Pittsburgh, Big Ben, he targets in one person, then targets the whole game. But to spend a second round pick on him before running backs like Joe Mixon and receivers as such as Antonio Brown, I just don't see the point of taking him in the second round.
I'd rather take Juju than Antonio Brown. I'll tell you that right now, Dre.
And like I said, man, I'm taking your money for 6 years plus now, so keep on doing that.
Ah!
Hey, like I said, I'm a realist, man. I keep it real. We'll see what happens.
What you guys think about it, though?
Go ahead.
Uh,
What you think
I
about it,
mean,
Kano?
um, I mean, to be honest, like I said, I agree with everything that you're saying there. Like, number one, receiver, he's gonna get all the attention from the corner. You're pretty much gonna try to cover him. He's special though, and I might be a little biased. USC Trojan. Definitely. Been watching him since then. But you know what? He has talent. And as long as Big Ben can do what he usually does every year, I think he'll be all right. But I do agree with you. I don't know about going all the way down to picking him early as like round two, but maybe a late three, early four type of guy. I think you'd be all right.
Yeah, I I honestly think he's gonna be okay. You know, reason
Don't be
being
biased
why.
now. Don't be
No, I'm
biased
not.
because that's the
I'm
team.
not. I'm just thinking back. I'm just thinking back to a lot of the games last year because I watched the Steelers. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking back to a lot of the games last year when Antonio Brown didn't play, and even this year when Antonio Brown didn't play. Actually, I should say that his rookie year when Antonio Brown didn't play, and last year he was pretty much the number one, and he was doing just as good, if not better.
What
He's a big
what
body.
makes him the
He's
number one in
fast.
those games you watch? What makes him the number one? Because I seen a lot of Pittsburgh games last year because a lot of your games televised. I didn't see him as a number one. I didn't see him getting the number one corners or the safety rolling over top.
No,
Because
I'm
if they
talking about
did,
without he was the number one option without Antonio Brown in
I
is
don't
what I'm
remember
saying.
Antonio Brown missing the games last year or that
He missed
many.
Antonio Brown missed what was it? I would say it was three. It was either one or three games. I think he missed a few games during the middle of the season. I could tell you right now. I know he missed a few games. I thought he missed. I know he missed one at the end of the year, and the year before that, I forget what he hurt. I gotta double check, but I know he's.
That game that he missed right before the playoff game that decided if you guys were going to playoff. Juju didn't do that well, especially for the targets that he had. He had over 15 targets. He did average that week.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. I just like his size and the speed for a receiver. We'll see what happens. He has experience too. I really don't think he's not a early round pick. I wouldn't pick him with the first few rounds, considering how many
He's
wide
going in the
receivers there
second
are.
round. A lot of players are taking him in the second round around picks 16 through 18.
I don't
Well,
know if I
I
take
mean,
him. Go ahead.
let me just add. I think a lot of that a lot of that has to come because everyone thinking Brown gone. He's a wide receiver one now. Volume target. He's gonna get him. Um, I think that's why he's going so high because I mean, who else are they gonna throw the ball to? And they might force feed
That's
Who
right.
else are they going to throw the
Juju,
ball
but I
to?
mean like uh yeah. So I think just target volume wise, I mean like yeah, that's why people are drafting them. Early round, second round because he's a wide receiver one and wide receiver ones are hard to come by nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Let me
he's
let me
he's
get let, let me bring up this hot topic and move on from Juju. Just because I see my man Dre out there, being a big Dallas Cowboy fan, and we got to bring up his pretty much his whole offense. He goes by the name of Zeke Elliott, who was at Cabo eating some fish tacos at Senor Frogs, drinking some beer, with some senoritas, and God knows what he's doing out there. Is
Hey,
he
who
gonna
don't
come
love
back?
senoritas? Who don't love the boricuas and senoritas and all such? I mean, I'll be in Cabo too if they
Hey,
wasn't paying me right.
hey, Hey, ain't nothing wrong. I'm just trying to see. People are drafting him like he's coming back week one. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is he gonna be there?
Is okay. So I answer the question: is he going to be there? Of course, he's going to be there. The reason he's going to be there because, well, for one, a lot of people are thinking, of course, like we touched on earlier about the Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon situation. Both those scenarios are different. The scenarios that Melvin Gordon and Le'Veon Bell were, they were in a contract for 1 year only. Zeke still has 2 years left on his contract. So the games that he's missed is not going to go towards the 2 years left. So he has to report. There's no way he's going to not report and then miss out on the time for 2 years because they still own Zeke's rights to play football for 2 years. If it was a year, it'd be different. But he has two, so he's going to report. Now him being in Cabo, I don't know about you if you have any type of social media or Instagrams, but the guy's fit, he's in shape. If you know Zeke from Ohio State, he's always made sure he was fit and in shape. He missed football last year, I believe, for 6 games. Came back next game. He carried the ball over 25 times. Gave us a 130-yard effort. So him missing time preseason, I don't feel like that's a good reason not to draft him in the first 5 picks, being that running backs in that scenario are very good and you need a top running back. I will not see me picking DeAndre Hopkins, not Mark Ingram, but Adams or Thomas over Zeke Elliott. A running back that can give you 250 carries a year, over 108 yards average, maybe a tug and a half a game. Top 5 pick to me. I wouldn't be nervous at all.
Man, I don't trust it if you're not in training. I don't know, man. I'm weird about that, especially with running backs. We'll see though. But a lot of times that helps out with running backs. I just
What
know.
running backs have you seen have that gave you? What scenarios have you guys seen that gave you a scare? Okay, like see he missed the preseason, he missed that to where now it's affecting him in the regular season. Because the ones I've seen, I've noticed, majority of them are towards their 30s. They're 30-year running backs. They don't have that type of burst anymore. They're actually trying to fight for the last contract. This is Zeke's first contract. He's 24 years old. I don't see him
Oh,
actually doing that.
I'm not saying for Zeke. Zeke will be fine. It's just like time. And just like when he came back, when he was suspended, he wasn't on until like his like third or fourth game back, but he was on. It's just kind of like getting the rust off, really, for the young dudes.
Oh, he was
You
on the first game. I remember. He gave me some good points that first game back, and actually the first 4 games. He gave me some good
when
points.
last
Yeah, yeah. Trust me, I held on to him for as long as possible. He played the first 5, 6 games, missed the next 8, something like that. And he was just right on time for playoffs. Right on time.
Let me ask you a
oh
question on that. Let me ask you a question on that. To, say they don't pay him, right? Shows up week one. You think he'll still run as hard because now he's not getting bread? You know, like is he gonna do his job? Is he gonna go out there and run hard because like maybe he's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take it back because I ain't trying to get hurt because I'm trying to get a new
I don't know
contract. And if I
about you,
get
but
hurt,
me, I don't know about you, but I know me and a lot of competitive players who actually play sports. You're not gonna go out there and let anybody make you look like a fool. You're not gonna go out there and half-ass anything and show anybody up like, hey, I'm gonna lightweight run, lightweight catch a ball or block
yeah,
because you
yeah,
guys are
but
paying me. Because one thing about football is you still have to prove yourself day after day, down after down, practice after practice. It's not
I was about to
baseball.
say
It's
every
not.
practice. You
Yeah,
earn your
it's
position. You earn and lose your
exactly.
position every practice. Like you don't.
Or every
That's
practice,
not
every
given to
moment.
you
It's
at
not
all.
baseball. It's not
and I,
basketball. So football's
and
different.
I just had
If
it.
he actually loads up and puts the pads on, he's going to play. He's not going to go out there and half-ass it
Boom.
because, to be honest, if he goes out there and half-ass it, he might end his career and get his AC blown out. He might get his back blown out. No homo. Sorry, people that's actually under 18.
Let's move.
I
Yeah,
didn't
well,
mean that.
let's go on to the different leagues now. Different leagues, and we're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about is different leagues and draft strategies. All right, that's we're gonna talk about both topics right now. Kind of run them in. So, you know, uh, I'll kick it off with you. Got your me. I'm more on a dual quarterback. It's called a super flex. Um, and I like the PPR. I like the completion, the pick six. I like you got to check your points. I like the online or the live draft. Sometimes they do the auction draft. Um, that's where you get a certain amount of money and players cost a certain amount of money and you got to pay it. It's kind of like daily drafts, or like the daily like DraftKings and stuff like that, daily fantasy. But and really to keep it real, it really depends on the league for the draft strategies. How many flex positions do they have? What kind of flex? Is it a PPR? Is it a partial points? Is it a super flex? Now, if it's a super flex, is the quarterback buffed up or is the quarterback just regular? You kind of got to these are things you got to take into consideration when you're making your draft picks, you know. And then a lot of the time, draft strategies. Well, for me, I know how I am. Like I got a board, and it's a lot of players, and you kind of got your ranks where they're at. Like boom, one's here, one's there, one's here, one's there, and all that. So the thing is, if you see a draft going quarterback heavy, I mean, not quarterback heavy, I shouldn't say that, or it can go quarterback heavy, depending if it's super flex or not, or if you see it going running back heavy or wide receiver heavy or something that you really don't think will work for you, you got to think it's a long season and you can trade. There's certain players that come up and later on in the year who you may want to keep an eye on. But then you got to adapt to the draft. Sometimes if they're leaving a gang of good receivers out there, if they're leaving a gang of good running backs or a gang of good tight, you better go grab some of them. Like, you know, you kind of got to counterattack that. You know, that's one draft strategy. Why doesn't somebody else? Let me Kano, why don't you kick in with a strategy?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think like I said, depending on the league, PPR, non-PPR, I think those are the most popular ones that I've like most of my friends play. Most of them are 12 teams non-PPR or 12 teams PPR. Definitely, you try to approach it differently. I always try to go running back heavy right off the bat, just because I mean running backs are one in a million, pretty much. And like, once you get past like 10 running backs, you really gotta really look in and really dive into like, hey, damn, like, can I get the handcuff or who do I think is gonna break out? Um, so I always just try to do that. Most of my friends always come up to me and tell me like, hey, how should I draft? How should I go with that? And I always say go running back. Definitely also a big part of it is where you land in the draft. I think that's huge. We were just talking about it today. Some of us prefer going, first, three picks. Some of us prefer the back end of it. Everybody pretty much kind of hates the middle because you don't know what to expect, and then you got to dictate. People in front of you dictate that draft. That's a hard part. You never know where you're gonna get. I think for me, I know Dre probably feels the same way. Drafting 11th and 12th pick is probably like the best. I mean, sorry, drafting 11th or 12th is probably the best because you're at the back end and you're gonna get two back to back right away, and they ain't as spread out. So yeah, I think for me, running back, and then after that, try to hit the wide receivers. And for me, my strategy is always take the best player off the board that you can. Towards the end, try to go more. Hey, maybe a sleeper or maybe someone that I think I've been hearing about quietly, and he's gonna have a breakout year. Try to find those hidden gems. The Kareem Hunts. Like a few years back that kind of just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember when I drafted him. You reminded me that I remember that.
I
Huh.
remember when I drafted
Hey,
him.
don't laugh. Hey, don't laugh, Drake. Hey, Drake. He was thinking about that when
You
he
made us
said it,
feel
Drake.
stupid. You made us
Hey,
feel stupid.
he was thinking about that when I drafted him, bruh. He was. I know
I
he
was like,
was.
yeah, I was one of them. I was a hater. I ain't gonna lie, I was a hater of Kareem Hunt, and then you made us feel real stupid especially after the New England game. He busted out for a 60-yard pass touchdown, a 50-yard running
Yeah.
touchdown. He made me feel really stupid. So
Hey,
yeah,
y'all
I
could,
agree.
y'all could. Yeah, I was hyped. I was like, ooh, I got him. That's him. I thought it was
Hey,
him
Yep.
I was
too.
Yep.
ready to give up the briefcase for him at that point. The whole briefcase could have went.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. What about you, Dre? It's on you, man.
Draft strategies, like everyone touched on already, it really depends. I can't stress enough how it's really important for everyone to look at the settings of their league, whether
Mm.
it's point per reception, whether it's half a point per carry, whatever type of standards you guys are going by in your league. There's so many different leagues, so many different strategies that everybody plays for. I played in a league where the average point spread is 250 points. In another league, the average point spread is 80 points. It just is. I can't stress enough, but once again, how you really have to look at the settings and the points. So if you're dealing with PPR, me personally this year, I'm going running back heavy. I'm going to running back heavy. In most formats, except for non-PPR. Non-PPR, I'm going wide receiver heavy. Uh, and then we're also targeting running backs in this PPR. You want to get a running back that's catch worthy, who's out there on third downs, could catch the ball also. So the first five picks are pretty much done deal. You got all running backs. Cano stress. He told earlier how I enjoy the back end of the draft. I do enjoy it because at that point you can really dictate how the draft's going to come back towards you. The next third, fourth round. If you go double double wide receiver, you may end up not seeing any running backs coming back in third, fourth round. If you go double double running backs, you're going to see some great wide receivers come back to you because it's pretty thick this year in wide receivers. Tyler
Hmm.
Boyd was a top 20 wide receiver last year, and he's going in the sixth round.
Mm.
And that's going along with AJ Green missing the first 4 weeks of this year. So if I could get a top 20 wide receiver in the sixth round, along with Fournette, a Todd Gurley, a Joe Mixon, I'm taking it. And also a Zach Ertz, whatever it may be. So this year I'm going running back heavy. I'm telling you guys in front of y'all face because I know we got 3, 4 more drafts left. I don't care. I'm still going running back heavy the rest of the way, unless it's not PPR. We all have our different strategies. I will go only wide receiver if I'm at that point 7, 8 to where you're in between DeAndre Hopkins and Joe Mixon. I'll probably take a DeAndre Hopkins. I did a draft earlier today to where the settings is 20 yards per point. That's a stream right there, where the running back is getting 8 yards per point. So with the so differential in points of yardage, I went running back first 3 rounds. Ended up with Mike Evans, Curtis Samuel, AJ Green in the sixth round. It came out pretty good. Also James White in the eighth round. It's so many different scenarios, so many different strategies. I just really want to stress the fact that just look at your settings and make a good game plan from there.
Yeah, no, that's very vital. Looking at your settings, and one thing that I should have said earlier is they have a keeper and a dynasty. It really depends. Dynasty, and somebody let me know, chime in, correct me if I'm wrong, give me the right information. The dynasty is all the way through forever, and it's everybody. Your whole team. You just keep them until I really don't know when you lose them, unless they just done playing or something, they retire. But I know the keeper is you keep a few players. From my understanding, it's like 1 to 5 players. And it's for a certain amount of years, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a strategy within that also, if you're gonna have a keeper of how you want to draft. And like they said, I we were in the draft earlier today. I actually chose to get, and then there was another thing that they did. There's return yards, return touchdowns.
Ooh, I never
If
look
you
at
can
that,
get a
but you
number one,
always look at that.
if you can get a number one receiver that returns, also number one, he's really going to be very valuable. Now, say you get you you're in a PPR and you get you a pass catching running back that returns kicks. He's going to be extremely valuable also. Like say if you got a Tariq Cohen or a Ty Hill, those would be valuable in those type of leagues. So understanding your points and settings, and then I went running back heavy towards the end because there was a lot of wide receivers I couldn't pass up on. And at the end of the draft, I went running back heavy on pass catching running backs and running backs that should break out. Darwin Thompson, I like him, the rookie. Andy Reid, he loves those scat back wide receiver type running backs.
Have you heard
So
the report out of Kansas City this year, though, where they're going back with the running back approach?
so
The
he's going to be
report, the report in Kansas City 2 days ago was that Andy Reid had a press conference stating that he loves the running back by committee look because he ran it in Philadelphia and he has so much success off of it. He doesn't
Yep.
trust Williams that much to keep him as a bell cow, so they're going to be at a running back committee look with the rookie there and also
yep.
if ands the Carlos
Yeah,
Hyde.
yeah.
I heard
Carlos
he
Hyde.
see
Like
he
Philly.
No, Carlos Hyde got dropped. He
I
officially.
heard he got dropped today, but I really hear that they really are big on this rookie, and it's going to be definitely a committee. So I wouldn't actually draft Williams in the second round anymore, being that he'll probably average from 12 to 15 carries, maybe
Yes,
three to
I
five
wouldn't.
targets. So
He's
I
right.
will go
I
with
wouldn't.
him.
I wouldn't
Maybe
draft
he's a
Williams
third round
early at
pick.
all. He's
Right.
one of your early round. I wouldn't call him a bust, but I'll call him an underachiever if you draft him early. So for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely not a second round pick. I'll draft him late third round.
Let
Yeah.
me ask you all that. I have a couple buddies that hit me up all the time, and I'm sure you guys are the same way. We kind of are looked at as like fantasy gurus or whatever. And the number one question is, how early is too early for a quarterback? for like just go, pretty much what everybody plays is, 12, PPR or 12 non-PPR. We get a little crazy in our leagues because we kind of just know it. We've done it for a while. But most people, probably playing fantasy football maybe 2 or 3 years, they're always like, yeah, I just want to do it. I want to have fun, blah blah blah. Like when should I draft a quarterback? And they always want to go and grab, the best quarterback, second round, third round. What do you guys think? What is
Dude, you know what?
the
You
advice that we
just
give?
that's a perfect segue, Kano. That's a perfect because the last topic, the last bullet is gonna be breakout players, homie. Breakout players. And one of my
Yep.
breakout players, you can draft him very, very late. I'm talking about like seventh round or something. And he is a QB. I'm saying he is gonna be nice. Right? He finished the season off nice, got that big stature, USC guy. They call him Sam Darnold. Another
Darnold.
second year dude is going to be good. I like him. He's good from the pocket. He reminds me of a young Drew Brees. He's very fiery. He's very accurate. He can throw on the run. They call him Baker Money Maker. Homie, you can draft him late. So it really depends. I mean, like it depends on how deep it is, and it depends on, like you said, the points and the settings. But if we're talking about just like a regular general one, those are two players that you can find in the seventh round or later after you've stacked up on all your other players.
I would never, ever in my life, of fantasy football standard league anymore, besides the first 2 years I played football, fantasy, take a quarterback before the eighth round. There is no way.
Yeah.
Unless, like you said, it was a point per completion like we did earlier in draft, I may take patty cakes in like third, fourth round. It's a different scenario.
Woo!
Those guys are different. That's a different breed. When you're averaging 88 points a week compared to an average of 48 points for Sam Darnold last year, I will take that in the third or fourth round. But regularly for quarterbacks, I will never take a quarterback before the eighth round,
Yep.
being that there's three different gaps, and the gap from 2 to 3 isn't that big. There's a gap of patty cakes, Aaron Rodgers, who we don't know what he's going to look like this year in the new offense.
I like him. Just
Two,
just to say, I like him. Sorry.
yeah. Oh, trust me, you can't doubt a top five quarterback all the time. He's going to be good, but I don't know how good he is. Not to take him in front of patty cakes, what I seen him do last year. If I want to take a
No,
quarterback before
nobody's going in
this,
front of patty cakes. I'm sorry.
no,
Sorry, I didn't
you
cut you
shouldn't.
off. Nobody.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't take him before
Not,
patty
not, not,
cakes.
now that
But
we're talking about Mahomes, is he? I mean, he set the bar high. I don't think he'll get there again.
Oh my goodness! Listen to you. You know who his coach is. A lot of people want to praise Patrick Mahomes. He's real good and everything, but let's look at Donovan McNabb with Andy Reid and without Andy Reid. You know what I mean?
I
Like
believe
with
me. I know what you mean. I'm an Eagle
yeah,
fan. I remember those days.
that's exactly why I said it like that too. So what I'm saying is, like, Patrick Mahomes is good, but the thing is, Andy Reid makes him that much better, bro. Like so, like Patrick Mahomes will be as good as Andy Reid takes him. How I feel, homie. I feel like he can. Honestly, I feel like before he retires, he's gonna throw another 50 touchdowns, homie. I just honestly believe that, homie.
Give me a number. Give me a number, Jay. How many does he throw this year?
who patty
I don't
cakes
think he'll get.
touchdowns?
I don't think he'll get
Yeah,
50
give me a
this year.
number.
They're gonna
Of
be
course
on him
not. I
so
don't
tough.
think it.
He's probably gonna get like I'm gonna say like 44, homie. I'm gonna say like 44.
Wow, that's a hot take. That is a very hot take.
What's so hot
He's gonna
about
get
that
more.
take? He threw 50 last year. What's so hot
I
about
think
that?
he gets.
He
I think he gets 35. 35.
That's about three per game, 3 to 4 per game, homie. Like
Yeah.
35. If he does 35, so you're telling me he's only going to throw like two per game, 2 to 3 per game. I'm betting he's going to throw 3 to 4 per game. You're saying he's going to throw 2 to 3. There's no way he's throwing two to
Yep.
three per game. 39 is
Believe me,
about the
people.
39 is about the average for him.
Defense are gonna be
um
preparing for him, man. I'm telling you, man. Defense are gonna be preparing for him. I don't think he
how
repeats what he
how
did
how
last
can you
year.
prepare how can you prepare
What
for
do you mean?
offense so where you don't know where it's going to hit you from? It's so crazy. You got Watson crossing over the middle, 15 yards deep, 6'4", running a 4.5. You have Tyreek Hill running a 4.4, going up the seams, chasing out safeties. Then you have Travis Kelsey busting ends deeper than Watson. It's coming from every angle. So to be honest with you, if not 45, he may break his record from last year. I don't see it stopping. There's no weakness in this offense, especially for the way the league is going away from hitting, concussions. They're so protective over the wide receiver. They're so protective over the quarterback. It's an offensive league now.
Well,
They don't want defensive.
well,
They want points. They have FanDuel, you have DraftKings. They want points out there. So for what we seen last year, and that was his first season playing really. He played one game in his rookie season. That was his first season he did that. This is his second season. He knows the
and that's what I'm
offensive
saying.
playbook a little bit better. I can't see him doing
I get
35
that.
when he did 50 last year. When he did 50 last year,
Sophomore
be
slump.
prepared. Be prepared to see 55 plus as a
This is
record this
actually
year.
his third year. This is actually his third year,
But
and
but
so with that said,
going based
we're
off what
no,
going
sorry,
based off
sorry.
hold on, going
You're talking about starting all
going off
year.
with Dred.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Here we
yeah. I
go.
mean,
Let's
starting
go
right
on to
here
the
is
next. Let's go on to the next topic real quick, real quick. You know, Patty Cakes, he's nice. We know you like to hate on nice players. We're done. Okay. So what we're doing is we're going to go on to Dre, some of Dre things he wanted to go off with. And first, we're going to talk about when and if you should take Melvin Gordon and Zeke. That's what
Ooh.
and since this was Dre Day's question and he's the Zeke of the week, we're gonna let him go first. Okay.
Zeke of the week. I
the
like that. I
freak
like
of the
that.
league.
Oh man, no homo. Be easy over there. Be
So
easy.
so
But
so when should we take him? When should you take Melvin Gordon or Zeke? Let us know.
I had that issue earlier today. I was in the
Hmm.
fourth round, actually the third round, fourth round upcoming, and Melvin Gordon was still there. And I'm a fool. I'm a sucker for love. So I took Bell in 2 leagues last year, and it hurt bad that he didn't come back.
Hmm.
He didn't come back. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I will not take Gordon at all this year. I will not take Gordon at all. I don't care if he comes back and he's there week one. I took him in round six. My bad, whatever. But in round six, I'm taking. Still, you have out there Will Fuller. You still have rookie running backs. You still have nice points out there. So I wouldn't even touch Melvin Gordon until you hear a report that he's coming
No.
back. If I was drafting tomorrow, I'm not touching Melvin Gordon. Zeke, on the other hand, I'm still taking him. Like I
What
said
about Zeke?
earlier,
Yeah.
Zeke earlier, I'm still taking him because he he's in a different situation. He's not in there for 1 year. He's in there for 2 more years. So for him to count towards those 2 years, he has to play. So it's a different situation that Zeke's in. So just approach it in that scenario.
Boom, makes sense. You hear that, folks? He's scenario. What about you, Kano? When do you take him?
Uh, like I said, I think he hit a couple of things. We don't know if he's gonna come back. I know you're kind of heartbroken over what Le'Veon Bell did to you, and now you're drafting him early because he told you he's gonna be, you know, working for his fantasy players out there that drafted him this year or whatever. But I don't think Le'Veon Bell is what Le'Veon Bell is going to do like 3 years ago. But that's a different topic. Gordon, I would take Gordon about early fourth, late fourth if he's still there. Why not? Just kind of like in that scenario Dre had him. I would have chosen Gordon over Le'Veon Bell. I think he'll come back. I think the Chargers are going to work with him. He wants to be a Charger, and the Chargers, obviously want him. And I think, definitely, I think he'll end up playing week one, if you ask me.
Well, me, I don't like holdouts. They make me nervous. I don't like the
Hmm.
feeling of them. I don't like when the players come back. I don't like it. So if you're not playing week one, really, or if you're not like at least showing up to training camp, even if you're in training camp and you're like kind of like lollygagging, like waiting for season, like, I could deal with that. But if you're like not coming to training camp cold turkey, don't talk to me like Jerry Maguire, I don't know, man. That makes me kind of nervous, man, because
Yeah.
that makes me think, like that makes me think your head is not like, because like it's a different thing if you practice and then you don't really do too much, or you want to make sure you got to get paid, or woo wah
Oh,
wah,
I mean,
But if you're
reports are
just
already out saying that he's willing to sit out the whole year. He's willing to
yeah,
do that.
I seen that too. So I don't want nothing to do with that. So
So in the fourth round, are you taking Sony Michel or Melvin Gordon?
Sony.
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 Yeah, I like Sony Michelle. As you can tell, Dre, earlier I was trying to send you a couple of players for him, and you being your usual self, breaking my heart and telling me yes, and then changing your mind.
I only do
Decided
that
to
to
turn
Philly
back on me.
fans. Only Philly
I
fans I
guess
do
so.
that to.
Uh. So are the New Orleans and Pitts players overhyped? Kano?
um, I definitely think Pittsburgh for sure. Um,
You sound like a
no
hater.
hard feeling.
No, you
No
just sound
hard
like a hater.
feelings. No hard feelings for Pittsburgh. I'm sure. I mean, no hard hating over Pittsburgh, but I just think like Juju. I don't know. We'll see how he looks, and Big Ben getting older. I mean, James Conner. We'll see. We'll see. Can he do it again? I mean, another. I mean, he ran hard, and he was playing with a chip on his shoulder. But now, is that chip going to be there? I don't know. You know what I mean? He got the job, and you're right. He has to work and keep his job and all that. But he ran with the chip on his shoulder last year, and he did great. Like, believe me, I don't. But I just don't know if he's going to do the same. Can he repeat it? I don't know. New Orleans. I mean, let me just talk about it real quick. I mean, is Michael Thomas? He got paid. Is he going to go out and ball out? Yeah, I think so, and I trust Drew Brees doing what he does, and I think, I don't know if he's overhyped. I think, he might be a little bit underhyped, if you ask me. Like, nobody talks about Michael Thomas like we're talking about Antonio Brown, or that we're talking about, DeAndre Hopkins, who, I don't know. He always ends up, being hurt here and there. And like I said, I like Michael Thomas, so that's my take.
Boom. What about you, my man, Dre?
Oh man, I mean, you guys already know how I feel about Pittsburgh. Okay, Pittsburgh, I will say Big Ben, Juju. I feel like they're overhyped. James Conner, though, I feel James Conner's gonna ball out. He's gonna have a career year. He's gonna get a fat contract next year, something decent. He's a recovering. He had cancer, correct, or leukemia? Can't
Yep.
remember.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yep. That's the same.
Yep.
Yeah.
so
Leukemia. That is a form. Yep. That's the cancer right there, bro.
yeah, so I think his heart is just it's just destiny. It's just destiny for him. It's a great running back. I think he's gonna ball out. The other guys, I don't feel it's comfortable about New Orleans. Everyone is so hyped about New Orleans and how the offense went last year and how much points they put up. Michael Thomas connection with Drew Brees. I think he dropped less his targets. I think he had less than 10 targets incompletions when the ball was thrown his way, which is amazing. I've never even seen anything like that before. Um, I don't think that connection is gonna be there this year. I think they're mostly just drained from what happened last year, where they should have went to the
It
Super
was it
Bowl when they
was
shouldn't.
90.1% to be exact. Had to go ask a
That's
statistician.
crazy. So 9 out of 10 balls he was catching, and
That's retarded.
that's ridiculous. I just think they are mostly drained off of what happened last year. And if you go back to the last two situations of where New Orleans has gotten to that point of an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl, the next year they've came back sluggish. They didn't come back the same. Drew Brees, for some reason, connection wasn't there with his targets. The running back game, actually, what really disappeared was the defense, and the offense had to catch up, but to a point to where they weren't getting as much points as they were the last year. So I just say stress. I will look out for that. I mean, I would still draft Michael Thomas in the second round. I wouldn't draft him before Adams, Hopkins, maybe even. I kind of like Evans over him. I like Mike Evans this year with Arians and Tampa Bay and James Winston. I like that over a Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara, I'm still taking him top four, but just be on the lookout for them taking a step back. And if you can, if they start going off, I would trade them, get a 2-for-1. If you guys know me, I like trades, like flipping. Uh, just be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. I me. First we're gonna talk about the Alvin Kamara. This guy is crazy. In 2 years, in 2 years, right? He's rushed the ball. How many times is that? Over 300 times, right? 314, and he averages over 5 yards a carry. I mean, That's like amazing. Not only that, you could put him in the slot. Like you could like homie, like I'm like it's like everybody's talking about oh Melvin Gordon, oh Zeke, oh like on some real like they deserve to be talked about, but you don't hear nobody talk about the young man with the golds in his mouth. Y'all don't hear nobody talk about him out there in New Orleans, and he gets real dirty. Okay, he gets real dirty. And Mike Thomas, um, he's a hungry kind of player, man. He's Keyshawn Johnson's nephew, you know. So he's he got he's quiet, but catching 9 out of 10 balls tells me you got some dog in you. Like you're like something's like you're catching balls that you definitely should not be catching. Like and like just for me to see that, it's hard for me to say that that he's underrated, you know. And as for Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh starts inside, homie. Right? Pittsburgh starts inside. Um, we and a lot of the things we're not as good as far as player wise or fantasy wise or whatnot. But when you think about the Steelers, right? You think about like when they win championships. When do we ever have like a bomb ass running back and a bomb ass wide receiver and win? Like we really don't. It's usually the defense. We went out and got Bush from Michigan, homie. Our second year, I forget the second year safety. Our defense is real tough, but as far as if you're looking for fantasies, Big Ben's gonna be Big Ben. He got that arm. So and Connor, we got the same line. A lot of people were talking like, you know, like it was a fluke. We'll put Samuels back there and run the ball, and he'll go ball out, homie. Whoever's running the ball back there is gonna ball out. I'll put it that way because our line is on. Um, and I think that is boom. That's it, homie. Now we're gonna go on to the Lakers. We're gonna go on to the Lakers versus the Clippers. Boom. The Lakers versus the Clippers. And then the first question, the first topic that we're gonna go off on that is what player is gonna replace Cousins? Who do we need to replace Cousins? And why did Kawhi choose the Clippers over the Lakers? No, let me hear from you on that. Who do we need to replace Cousins? And why did Kawhi go to the Clippers?
Let me just tell you real quick. I've been hearing rumors. I've been hearing little chats here and there that we might be getting Dwight Howard. You know what? Coming up, I'm not mad. You know, Dwight Howard's a big body. Uh, we'll see how he looks. I know he hasn't balled in a while. You know, coming off of injuries and stuff like that.
He
I
can't
actually
shoot
heard
no
him in
free
another
throws,
podcast.
man.
You know what? Let me explain. I heard him in a different podcast. I heard he's been working with a psychologist. You know, kind of just getting his mindset right when he's shooting free throws because he said that he makes every
Damn.
single one of them in the gym. And
Nigga,
you
are
know what?
you
I
kidding me? This
I'm
nigga
just
working
saying what
with
I've been hearing.
Hey,
He
that's
said
not
it's a
funny.
mental issue.
Hey, that's not funny. If
And
he got some things he got to get together, that's cool. But we talking
yeah,
about free throws, bruh. We ain't talking about
Shaq had that same issue,
practice.
and they
We
won,
talking about practice.
and
Talking
and they still won rings,
about practice.
You know. Hey, I'm just saying what I've been hearing. Dwight Howard coming to the Lakers, I wouldn't be mad at it. Big body, can rebound. He's a 20 rebound guy every night. And you know what? If he can stay
He
healthy,
is not no
he's
20
already.
rebound guy. I'm getting tired of his
Hey,
back. The nerves in his back are always messing up, and he always got to sit down. He don't even jump like he used to. I can't even
hey, look
front.
look
I
at
don't even
Boogie.
like
Look
him.
at Boogie can't even stay healthy either.
But dude, but this is the thing about Boogie. Boogie can't stay healthy. I agree, right? But Boogie, at least he can shoot a free throw. He can even shoot a three. He can pass. He can dribble. Dwight Howard can't do nothing but rebound and block. And I don't even know if he can do that because I don't even know if he can jump no more. Like,
hey,
please.
hey, he's in the best shape of his life according to him. We'll see what happens.
All right. And
I think
what about Kawhi?
Kawhi,
What about Kawhi?
Kawhi's Kawhi. He's gonna be doing some unorthodox, things and want to be a Clipper and whatnot. I mean, he just wanted to be home. I think he he wanted to put that the balance in the league. You know, he just was like, you know what, if I go to the Lakers, like they're gonna be too damn strong, and we're just gonna work everybody. And I think he likes a challenge. You know, I think that's why he did what he did in Toronto, and you know, he took that challenge on and brought him a ship, and now he's gonna go to the Clippers trying to do the same thing, and he brought his buddy Paul George with them. Shit, you know. Um, and I actually like it. I mean, like you know, obviously I like Kawhi, and I wish he was a Laker fan. You know, I mean a Laker player, but you know, coming from a Laker fan, but you know, it is what it is. You can't you know can't cry over spoiled milk. You know, and we just got to go. And I think going into that, I think you know the best duo in LA is still Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You know, you ask me, that's what I'm gonna say.
And what about you? What about you, my man? Dre?
Oh man. First off,
Who do we
leaving
need to
Kawhi.
replace Cousins? And and why did Kawhi go to the Clippers?
Kawhi went to the Clippers because he's a real one, man. He's from the IE. He's not gonna go here over here and join forces and make a super team where he's been with San Antonio first and foremost, coached by Greg Pop, one of the real
But
ones in the league still.
he went to join Paul George. He said he wasn't gonna go unless Paul George went, bro.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing. Even in San Antonio, he had Tim Duncan. When he went to Toronto, he had a full cast. He's not going to go make a whole Avengers team where he could be Batman and Robin over here in LA still and make a whole franchise out of it. I mean, you from out here, I know I'll get a more thrill of, you know what, this is my squad. I came over here, built this franchise up. They never won nothing ever. Now I came to build this with my man PG, who from LA too. We both got the LA connection. So let's build the Clippers up. Let's go over here and try to compete with these guys. So let's try to be with these guys. I don't know about you, but when LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh went to Miami, I was like, okay, that's nice. It's like some 2K type shit, but I don't
Yeah,
want no super team. Like I don't want to see
he
all that.
said
I
that's
want to see
like some
competitive.
2K type shit.
Yeah, like come on now. I don't want to see that. I want to see some competitive basketball. Now 2020, 2019,
For real.
20, we're gonna get back to competitive basketball. Me and my man versus you and your man in the squad. So I like that aspect. That's why Kawhi chose it in my eyes. Like I said, but as for LA, man, it's
Who's gonna
unfortunate we lost
replace
Boogie, man. It's
who's gonna
unfortunate we
replace
lost.
him?
It's unfortunate, man. It
I
seems so
hate that.
crazy the challenges people go through in life. You got to remember, 2 years ago it was his left Achilles. Last year in the playoff his left quad. Now it's
Ugh,
his left ACL. Everything in
ugh.
the left leg. So
It's compromised. It's
Retired.
compromising.
yeah,
That
yeah.
Achilles
No, you
compromising
don't
him.
retire. You don't
You
give
know.
up. You have to really look in the mirror and ask yourself what you made of. Are you gonna let these challenges stop you from being the person you are and love of your life and playing basketball? Or are you gonna let them stop you from doing
He
everything
just
you want to
said,
do? He may not
man.
be the same person, same player, but I'm pretty sure Dwight would. I mean, not Dwight, excuse me. DeMarcus can get it back to himself. Now, like you said, we got Dwight on the mind coming to LA. To be honest, I don't even want that type of energy in LA anymore. He was out here before. I know he had the interview saying he different and he ain't know what Kobe was telling him.
Mm.
Me personally, I just don't like men who over here who's still acting like little kids and might be a little iffy on the fence, if you know what I'm saying. So I prefer LeBron James at the 4 and Anthony Davis at the 5. Or there's reports that he might play the 4 now and get Rondo in the starting lineup. We get Danny Green at the 2 and Kuzma at the 3. That sounds pretty good. LeBron don't have to run a point. He can run a point along with Rondo. So I don't think we really need a Dwight Howard. He's just not built for this. He's not. I'm not gonna trust your background to come in LA and think you want to join forces now when you was out here and you could have had this franchise on your back. You chose to leave. So miss me with that. That's what I think LeBron should do. He should go to the 4. Anthony Davis at the 5. This is the best duo, hands down. Kawhi and PG's not gonna touch him.
Right now, we only got McGee. One thing that we got that a lot of people aren't talking about, that's the only center we got. One thing that a lot of people aren't talking about, who we're going to talk about, is Antetokounmpo, whatever the hell, however you say his name, damn it. Now,
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo, there we go. Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but we have the little brother, right? We have the little brother. What is that? Starts with a K. What the hell? What's it? Does anybody know his name? His first name? Can somebody tell me his first name?
Uh,
I don't know
Hang
either,
on.
bro. So I'm
yeah,
just calling him
I don't
little
know.
bro.
I don't know.
Hang on.
I know
Squash
Giannis.
Costa, something like that. That's his first name, right? So we got
Okay.
him, and he is 6'10". He's a big boy. He plays forward, and then to replace my boy Boogie, there's and see to get Dwight Howard, like I was saying earlier, man. Don't nobody want just rebounds and blocks, and I don't even know if he can jump. And his back is always hurting, homie. Like it's unfortunate. I hate that because he used to be the business. Like he used to jump up and dunk wild, but I feel like we need a rim protector. You know, we need some defense. I feel like we're going to score. I feel like we could do Kenneth the Freed. He's a free agent. He moves fast. He can play center. He rebounds, hustles. He can score even. I mean, Joakim Noah's out there. Um, who else? It's a couple of players, but to get Dwight Howard, I feel like he doesn't do enough. And see, Joakim Noah, he knows he's a smart player. I feel like we need a cerebral defensive player at center. Kenneth Fareed, he can pass from center too, you know. So that would be good for the Lakers, I think. But we'll see what we do. If we get Dwight Howard, I'm gonna be mad. That means we're trying to sell jerseys and tickets, and we're not trying to win games, and that would make me mad. Um, but as far as um, damn, I got so wrapped up. Oh yeah, Kawhi, right? We all know how Kawhi gets down. When he don't, everybody know from the time when he shut down LeBron, he don't want to be teammates with LeBron, homie. He want to put him down, homie, right? So let's just let them. Let's just,
Gotta
I'm gonna
beat the
just
best to be the best.
yeah, man. I'm gonna just entertain him. When he was with San Antonio, nobody knew about him until he really shut him down and got MVP. So basically, what he was doing now is I'm gonna make sure that I got Paul George on my team to go ahead and team up on another team who hasn't won a championship, kind of like he did with Toronto, and do it in his home area. He's that's just how he is, man. He's kind of like he's not really your go with the flow type of player, man. He's more your player that'll go with however he feels. So he felt like building up the Clippers. Doc Rivers probably spit that realness in his ear. Patrick Beverly, that's more of a defensive, grindy, gritty team. And I mean, I feel like honestly, I feel like that team matches Kawhi, homie. Even though I would have rather seen him as a Laker, I feel like that matches Kawhi. And the thing is, I got two more questions. Who will win the championship first out of the Clippers and the Lakers? And who has the better team? And we're going to start with Canal.
Well, I think the Lakers for sure. I think, like I already mentioned it, I think they're the better duo. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, I think are fantastic. I think they still have that better duo than Kawhi and Paul George. Plus, Paul George, I think he's hurt. Not even starting off the season with them, and we'll see how long that goes. But I think for sure the Lakers, the roster looks pretty good. Like I said, for me, the starters real quick would be LeBron, Danny Green, Kyle Kuzma, Anthony Davis, and now I guess McGee unless we get Dwight Howard or Joakim Noah or else someone else. But yeah, I think that team is pretty solid. I think the Lakers will reach the championship first, and after LeBron kind of starts slowing down, I think Kawhi and Paul George will win. Their maybe one or two, for the Clippers or whatever. Um, what was that second question, Jay?
The second question is who's going to win the championship first?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the Lakers for sure will win the championship first. I think they're gonna do big things. I think they have a good chance of winning it this year. And their time, is pretty much shrinking. LeBron maybe got another 3 years, probably. Good years, hopefully. And I think LeBron being hungry and being healthy and not making the playoffs and being able to pretty much relax and kind of get into that, off season where before he really didn't have that because he was always going to the NBA finals. I think, definitely will help him and, get to where he wants to. And I think they have the roster to do it.
Boom, boom. And what about you, Dre?
What was the questions again? My fault.
What do you think? Oh no, don't worry about it, homie. It happens. It happens. Um, who do you think has the better team, and who will win the championship first?
The better team. I feel like the Clippers have the better team. They're
Oh,
more round off. They have a deep bench, have a deep starting five, more polished players, more of a connection. The Lakers have half a squad that's been probably together for 2 years. Clippers, on the other hand, has been together for 3, 4 years plus, with the exception of Kawhi and Paul George, who already shown that they could jump on any squad and mesh right away. Um, they're deep. They have a veteran staff. I just feel like overall the Clippers do have an overall better team than the Lakers, is which why in some uh, casinos or bookies they have the Clippers favorite over the Lakers. Now, who will win the championship first? Lakers. Even
why?
though you have the better team, even though you have the better team, they don't have the better players. They don't have the
No.
best player. They don't have the player you can put a ball in their hand or even scope you out from the other side of the court and chase you down 60 feet and block you for in Game 7 of the finals. Or put the ball in their hand and they're going to, score a bucket at the end. They've been there, done that. That's why they're the best player on the court. LeBron James is what I'm talking about. LeBron James, he's out for vengeance. He's been talking all year on Twitter and Instagram how we're going to see about the top five because there's been a lot of disrespect with the MVP, first of all, and as of late, of who's the best player in the league. He's been talking a lot, making light of it, and he ain't going out for it this year. I think he's out to prove a point, along with the fact now he got his Robin and Anthony Davis, who's going to take his spot as the best player in the league once he's gone, or maybe even in a year or two, depending on how the offense flows in LA. But the reason that the Lakers will win a championship before the Clippers and this year is because of LeBron James.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday!
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
my boy. That is funny as hell. That's my boy right there.
Yes, sir.
So then, so let me ask myself the same question, right?
Oh no.
Now,
Let
when
me
I
ask
look
you.
at,
Let me be the co-host now. So,
okay,
who do you think?
okay, I'm with it.
Who do you think is going to win the championship this year, right, out of the Clippers or Lakers first? And who do you think has the best squad overall? We're gonna go to you, Johnny.
Well, let me go to the starting lineups. I think it's gonna
Ooh.
be um, Patrick Beverly, Paul George. We're gonna have Kawhi Leonard. Now the other two are kind of questionable, man. That they say the Clippers have the better roster, they're deeper, everything. Zubac just came there last year. Um, a lot of these players aren't really too dependable. Hartel, he's probably going to start at power forward, right? And then who's going to be the center, right? Hartel
Zubac.
doesn't score. Zubac, right? He's going to start at center. Your starting center is
Yeah.
Zubac. That's your starting center. Okay, all right. Um, so we're gonna play. They're gonna play that, right? And now let's go talk about the starters for the Lake Show, right? For the Lake Show, right? First thing we got. I don't know where they're gonna go, but they're gonna start, right? We got Kuzman, Bron, and we got my boy AD, right? And the first thing I asked myself, right, like if I was playing pickup 3-on-3, right? If we're playing 3-on-3 pickup, and I got two teams to pick three players off of, when the big three meshed up, who would I pick? I got those three. against Kawhi, George, and who? Patrick Beverly or Hartel? Are those my three? Um, well, I really don't. And then I have a bunch of guys who are getting paid a lot of money because they work out good and they got a jumper and they can bang, right? After I get the three best players, I got a lot of fill-ins, homie. So I feel like the Lakers fill-ins are better. I'm just saying. We got Dudley Green. He plays defense. We have Rondo McGee. Last year, I don't know who the hell McGee turned into last year. He got tired of shacking a fool or something, homie. So he started getting busy, right? So all in all, other than the coaching, I think they have the up on us with the coaching with Doc Rivers, with the experience, and I feel like our team is more cerebral. I feel Anthony Davis used to play point guard, but he kept growing into a center, so he knows how to pass. He knows how to move around. LeBron James, that's all he does is pass and move. Rondo, pass and move around. So, and with that said, Lakers gonna win the championship first. Boom. I don't even need to go in it because I was talking too much about that. So Lakers gonna win. Let me see. What's the next? The next topic on hand right now we got to go through is I think we might be going to the baseball now. Actually, let me go see.
Yep.
Boom. Yep, I think it's baseball. Yep, it's baseball time. It's baseball time. So then I'm gonna let y'all kick that off. I'm gonna just make sure I get the questions in right for y'all. Hang on. You guys hear me? Yep.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about the late playoff push. Give me the NL team and the AL team that y'all think is gonna take it.
Ooh, you want to hit it off, Dre?
Now go
Uh,
ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I think for the NL, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think the Dodgers they're getting better, and I think they go all in every year, and I feel like this year they're not relying on Kershaw as much as they have in the previous year, and other pitchers have stepped up. I think they're going to be definitely coming out of the NL. Um, the AL the AL is definitely a little bit more tricky. I mean, there's a couple teams that I like, um, Houston being one of them, and I think the other one is the Yankees. You know how they've been playing. They've been playing really good. Uh, so I think if I have to go with my gut, maybe I think we're doing another Houston and Dodger World Series again, and I think maybe the Dodgers take it this year. I think maybe they have the power to get there and finish it off. And um, I definitely hope that it goes to another Game 7. And it was definitely an entertaining World Series. We'll see what happens.
boom. What about you, Dre?
Oh man, this is a horrible day. Horrible day. And me and Kano agree on the same topic. It's very horrible. I agree with Kano. I think the Dodgers are going to go to the World Series along with Houston, being that Houston is just so deep. Every position that they're at, they have the bats, they have the arms, they have a decent bullpen. With the exception, they picked up Zach Greinke, a former Cy Young, played for the Dodgers 3 years back. He's their third best pitcher to go along with Verlander and Garrett Cole. So it's going to be very, very difficult to beat them in a 7-game series, being that their top three pitchers are going to pitch twice, and the third best pitcher is probably going to pitch once, with the exception of going Game 7. The Dodgers,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The Dodgers, I agree with Cano. It's probably a good relief that they don't have to depend on Kershaw this year to get them to the World Series and finish it off. Being
And they
that,
got bats this year.
yeah, their rotation is deep. They're very deep in the rotation. Bullpen's a little shaky on the back end. Kelly Jansen's not the same closer as he used to be, so I'll be kind of leery of that. I'll be kind of hesitant of actually seeing him in a tie game in the late innings or with a run league with facing the Houston Rock. But
Their starting pitching's deep. The bats are even deeper. They have young guys coming up. Galvin Lux may be one of the guys they call up to bring and help their bats out. With along the fact they have Seager back, who's starting to show his old self, hitting home runs everywhere. And Cody, 2019 MVP, he's going to take it over Christian Yelich this year. He's looking great. There's no one flaw in his swing and his defense, so they're very strong. Now, who takes it all? Like I said, it's kind of hard to be a starting staff that has three of the top 10 pitchers in the game. So I got Houston taking all, but Dodgers once again coming up short.
Boom, that was a perfect segue. Perfect segue. So, what do you think, Kano? We heard Cody Bellinger is the MVP. Who do you think the MVP is going to be this year? Baseball.
Ooh, for the NL, I mean, I think, dang, uh, NL, AL, I mean, they're both good. I think the MVP race. You know what? For the AL, I always want to say Mike Trout, man. Mike Trout is doing big things. I might be a little biased. I'm an Angel fan here. But I like what Mike Trout does, man. Every time he out there grinding. Unfortunately, man, it seems like another year with no playoffs for him, and that
So
is a bummer.
that's your MVP right there.
That's my MVP, Mike Trout, man. I think he
That's
works hard,
perfect.
man.
Go keep going. My bad.
No, you're good. I just like I said, Mike Trout. Like I said, I think he's just an outstanding player, man. I think he has 41 home runs already, and this is just
Something.
freaking, he does, yeah, something like that. He does that all the time. I just feel like he keeps impressing it, and every year I want to give him the MVP. I think he deserves it.
So, with that said, if he deserves the MVP, this is you guys were doing the segues right now. Y'all must have read the damn scripts or something, homie. The thing is, why is he not deserving the playoffs then? He deserves all this. He's a bomb. He's a woo wop.
Oh,
We want to know, why does he not deserve to go to the playoffs?
uh, man, that's a question that myself as
Shit,
an Angel fan and many people who's a Mike Trout fan has been asking for the last 4 or 5 years. The answer I came up with is starting pitching. We don't have starting
yep.
pitching. We need some type of starting pitching to carry you when you can't score 5, 6 runs in a game. You need some pitching that's going to be close to a 3-1 victory, a 2-1, maybe even 1-0. If we ever see that, last time we seen that with that Troy Percival in the pen. We had John Lackey in his rookie season, so it was
Woo.
15 plus years ago. It's been a long time, so it's kind of hard
Lackey.
to playoffs, let alone compete in a division where you have Houston, who's been setting up their team for the past 10 years with their farm system. Then you have Texas, who always competing in that home run derby of field they have. It's kind of hard in the AL because they're so deep, so deep. So and being a small market team, so you can't really compete with bats alone. You got to have some type of pitching. If we don't sign any type of pitching, along with the bad contracts we had with Josh Hamilton and now Albert Pujols, we don't have
I'm
any
gonna
money
say
to spread.
full house. Yeah, that's a bad
Yeah,
one. Full house got y'all stuck.
have any money to put in the starting pitching. So as of late, I've been hearing good signs of our farm system. We have great pitching coming up, and Griffin Canning and others, and nice bats coming up. So hopefully soon we'll see Mike Trout in the playoffs. But if you don't have starting pitching, you're gonna be watching TV like me in the postseason.
Whew. Yep, yep. And what about you, Kano? What's up? Why he ain't in the
Yeah,
why Mac Trout? Why the Golden Boy ain't in the playoffs, man?
I'll tell you why. Because the Angels are allowing, I think this whole season as a
Uh
total,
oh.
670 runs allowed. And you know what?
Oh,
You know how many we scored? 628. That's why. Because we can't damn freaking have a great pitching staff for the life of us. We haven't had a great pitcher since damn Weaver. And he was only there for, he was only an ace for about 3 or 4 years, and then he kind of fell off too. Other than that, shit, I don't even remember. Let me just compare it real quick, right? Houston Astros, they've only allowed 500 runs this season. and they are pretty much someone that we kind of look up, at the division every year. Like they're going to take the AL West. They're going to take the AL West because they got the pitchers. They got Verlander. Like I said, they just got Greinke, and they just keep doing, more and more and more. And I just feel like we can't compete with pitching. We can score a bunch, but we're allowing just as much and getting beat, disgustingly. I think this year I stopped watching. I'm not going to be lying. I stopped watching because we were getting beat 15-3, 18-2, something stupid, and we went on like a 9-game losing streak. It was getting me all fired up. So I just was like, you know what? Until they get a pitcher, then we'll come talking. But like Dre said, their farm system is better, and they picked up a couple young pitchers that are getting up there, and hopefully in a few years from now, it'll pay off. But I definitely think they need to invest in definitely an ace. Trade deadline. I wanted a Trevor Bauer, to come down, but that didn't happen. I get it. They were pretty much out of the playoff race by then, and why spend money? But I think he was still kind of young, and you could have just kept him for the next 2-3 years or whatever.
That's
But
a perfect segue. Perfect segue, man. Y'all doing the segues. We got like two more, then we're gonna wrap it up. This one is the trade, right? We know the trade winners. I think we can agree Houston is the trade deadline winner. Who are the trade deadline losers? Like either they didn't make a trade or they made a trade and it was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, go ahead, Kano, let us know.
right off the bat, right off the top of my head, I think the Dodgers. I think they can't rely on Jensen. I mean, I'm sorry. Like I said, I know I'm an Angel fan, and I'm out here speaking like I'm a hater, but I'm not. Like I said, I think if they need a better closer. I think I've heard it. I have a lot of Dodger friends, a lot of people that root for the Dodgers, and they don't even trust him when he goes out there. And I think they missed out big. I think that's a big part of why they can't, put the cherry on top, and get this World Series ring that they've been looking for over 20 something years now.
Boom. What about you, Dre?
Trade losers. I think the Yankees are a big trade loser.
Ooh.
Their pitching has an ERA over 4.20 this year. It's I know that they score a lot of runs, but it's kind of hard once again to beat a team in the playoffs when it's all about pitching. Pitching is heavy. It's like defense in football and basketball. You know it's going to tighten up once the playoffs. Once we know every game, every second
Yep.
is pivotal. It's very pivotal. So, pitching, they didn't get anything. They have J.A. Happ, who has a 5.6 ERA. They
Mm.
have Paxton, who's been showing good signs as of late, but it's not
Tanaka.
something to look forward to in that stadium in New York, where the stadium, the fences is literally as far as your front door to your backyard. It's not far at all. Um, Wiffle ball hitters can home run in Yankee Stadium. So they are the big losers in my eyes, along with San Francisco. And it's a different reason for San Francisco. San Francisco, they had in their mindset that they're going to try to push last year for Bruce Bochy. They're showing signs of late that they're going to compete for the wild card. But all in all, their top hitters hitting about 260 with 22 home runs. They don't have any bats. They had good pitching, Madison Bumgarner. I know it kind of hurt to trade the players that's been there for you for all the years and fun and World Series championships, but
Ah,
I look at it like in basketball, Lakers and Boston. The Lakers had Kobe Bryant. They gave him a fat contract towards the end of the years. Now, me being a Laker fan, I love it. That's Kobe. I'll do it. But business wise, if I was in that seat, I probably wouldn't do it. 2 years later, he blows out his Achilles, and we kind of go
ah,
funky for 5, 6 years. Boston, on the other hand, traded Paul George. I'm sorry, Paul
Pierce.
Pierce,
Yep.
to Garnett, and then let go of Ray Allen. What they get, draft picks. So this year, the only reason why they didn't get Anthony Davis is because he wouldn't be in LA, but they're up for it because of the things they have, the draft picks, the players. They have so much ammunition, and they still do. So it's hurting San Francisco in that sense that they didn't trade Bumgarner to go get
Yeah.
those young feet they could have got from the Yankees, or they could have got from the Houston Astros. They could have got a plunger full of players for the next 5, 10, 15 years if they would have let go of Bumgarner and also a couple of bats. But they chose to write out Bruce Bochy last year. Let's give it one more run, see if you can win. Now they're about 4.5 back. Doesn't look pretty good. So they're a big loser in my eyes.
Man, see, this is perfect. Y'all doing perfect to the last one, right to the last one, man. Because I couldn't even, man, I couldn't even have wrote it better because you we talking about pitchers. It seems like the losers aren't getting the pitchers, right? The last topic that we gonna touch is who is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball today? Dre, hit us off.
Yeah. The best pitcher. If I'm sitting there tying my batting gloves up, walking in the box, the last person I want to see probably Max Scherzer. Even
Who?
though
Mad
even
Max.
though he's yeah, Mad Max. He's 36 years old. I know he's in the latest years, but sometimes, actually, a lot of times, the older you get, the better you become as a person, and you know more. You're more in detail of what you know how to do best. And for him, as a prime example, the fastball's still there. The slider's even better. The changeup, the curveball is looking crazy. So you never know what exactly is going to throw at you. You're off balance as soon as you walk in the box. The
All the
last thing
time.
you want to see is a 96 mile per hour fastball and then 87 goofy curveball. And then you see a 91 slider, and then you don't know what the hell's coming at you next. So the best pitcher in the game for me right now, if I'm drafting here, once again, Mad Max coming in number one.
What about you, Kano?
You know what? I would have to agree with Dre, but just for the sake of just having a little conversation, because I think he's up there, and we were talking about someone that gets better with age. I got to go with Justin Verlander, man. Man, that guy keeps impressing me. That guy just, you know, being an Angel fan, I'm seeing him a lot more now because we play Houston a lot, and damn, is he good. Just when you think like, hey, this guy's 35, 36 years old, like he's done. He just comes out, lights out, and hey, I might be a little bit biased too because I have him on my fantasy baseball teams, and he's killing it for me. And I think he's like, spot on. Like I said, he still has it, showing no signs of slowing down, like you said. And I feel like, the better in age, the better pitching to become. So I think I agree with Dre with Max, so he would be my number one, but I think Verlander is right behind him.
Hmm. No, that's deep though. That's for reals. That's for reals. I wanted to say something for the sake of argument too, probably.
Go
You
ahead,
know.
say something then. Go ahead, say what you got to say. Say it with your chest. Say it with your
Just say it, huh?
chest. Yeah.
No, man, no, I don't know, man. I don't know who the best pitcher is, man. Me. But when I think about it, though, when I think about it, who is the one with the least amount of ERAs and with the season total? Hang on, that's what I'm looking for right now. And
I'm looking
Ryu,
at Garrett Cole right now.
boom,
Garrett Cole, or Ryu.
that's what I was gonna say. It was Ryu, but then I wanted to look at holler at him first, real quick. Look at his little, look at his little get down first. But Ryu, man, he's killing it right now. That's who I think is hard right now, just because of how hot he is. He's the hottest pitcher on the hottest team. So we like Syndergaard. Syndergaard is he's always going to be in there in the conversation. But best
No, no.
number
Let me
one
let me stop.
no,
Let me
best
stop
number
you right
one
there. Did you just
overall.
say Noah?
Best best was that who I was talking? Noah Syndergaard? No,
No,
Degrom. My
man.
bad.
You
I was
said
think I was
dang.
thinking Degrom. I was thinking Degrom. My bad. My bad. My
I
bad. I
was
was
about
thinking.
to say, don't get me hot on
It was
Thor, dude. Don't get me hot on
nah,
Thor.
you're
I
right.
traded
Nah,
this
he's
guy
not
because he's
there.
a bum.
But honestly, number one is Max. Mad Max. Mad Max is kind of hard to complain go against Mad Max. Like you said, you never know what's coming at you because he has a gang of different throws. And like this fool went out there and pitched. Didn't he have a broke nose or some shit like that? He went out there and pitched.
He had a
Yeah, he had a
broken nose.
black eye.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he had an eye socket.
oh man. if he goes out there and every time he throw the ball, he be grunting. He be sound like a damn superhero. Like damn. So, yeah. Nah, I
Hey,
like Mad Max, man. He be on. But nah, man, we gonna do this every Sunday, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got Kano over there doing this thing, the sportsman.
Yep.
And we got Dre, Dr. Dre over there, the sportsologist over there giving them the business. And y'all know me, JC3, Johnny, JB. We out here giving y'all the sports knowledge on Sundays, Soapbox Hero Sports. Next week, we're going to highlight a local player or team at the high school level. We're going to talk about them, and we're going to keep it coming. We're going to have some new topics. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Y'all hit the like button, comment. Let us know what y'all want to hear about so next week it could be a little more litty. Everybody tell them peace. Say something. You got some closing remarks, Mr. Dre?
Nah, man, I'm ready to get to it, man. It's my bedtime.
What about you, Kano?
Hey, you know what? Football's coming. Can't wait to, we draft one more time, go out there and, use some of our advice, now that I know Dre out there running back heavy, I might just jump on, all the running backs before he does. So
Here we
with
go.
that,
There goes Kano. There goes Kano. Kano always had some hidden. He always has a hidden agenda. Good old Kano.
yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
nah,
man.
but
I
yeah,
can't
nah.
expect
I'm about to do the same
a
thing,
little
man.
break.
I'm about to lay it down and go look at my team, and I'm gonna send out some trades. That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'll holler at y'all
Someday,
later.
send
send
some.
send some trades out.
You already know. All right, y'all.
Like,
Peace.